We all know Disneyland, and we all know Disney World. We also know that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the first Disney princess movie to appear. And how could we ever forget the beloved Mickey and Minnie? All of these things have one thing in common: places where the best memories are formed, and movies and TV shows that we have all grown up on. But these wouldn't be in our lives today if it wasn't for one wonderful man, and that is the one and truly Walt Disney. Today we will be talking about Walt Disney's background in education, how he created such a big industry, and how his family has contributed to Disney today. Without further ado, to infinity and beyond. Now, before we get into the background of Walt Disney, you may be wondering, who is this so-called wonderful man? Or you may have heard him be called the man behind the mouse. According to Achieve.org, the man behind the mouse is an American entrepreneur, animator, film director, and voice actor. He has also won over 22 Academy Awards. But, in all simpleness, the man who created everything Disney. Walt Disney was born December 5th, 1901 in Chicago, Illinois, to his mother, Flora Disney, who was a school teacher, and his father, Ellis Disney, who was a farmer, carpenter, and building contractor. According to Britannica.com, his family moved to Mesclun, Missouri when Walt was just only an infant. During this time, he learned his creativity, and he would start to draw with crayons and paint with watercolors. According to Biography.com, Walt Disney's father was tired of farming and moved the family to Kansas, Missouri, where his father would compel him to work at a newspaper factory with him and assist him with the routes. One thing that also may be very surprising to everyone, according to Biography.com, is Walt Disney, the man who created one of the biggest industries in the world, dropped out of high school at the age of 16 to join the Army. Unfortunately, he got rejected from the Army, but he did decide to join the Red Cross. When he joined the Red Cross, he was sent to France for about a year and came back in 1919 when he would go back to the newspaper company. Now, as the magic continues, you may be wondering how one single man created one of the biggest industries in the world. According to History.com, the man who created one of the biggest industries in the world started to draw for many publications. He then moved to Los Angeles and created his first short film, as we all know as Alice in Wonderland. Since Alice in Wonderland became so popular, he decided to create more of these short films. During this time, he created one of his most popular films, and that is in 1928, Mickey and Minnie were created. The population of Mickey Mouse short films convinced Disney that his studio could produce a feature film, which began in 1934. The project, which some dubbed Disney's Folly, went 400% over budget, required 300 animators, artists, and assistants. But Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a smash hit when it debuted right before Christmas in 1937. After that time, many more of these wonderful TV shows and movies were created. Now, as Leo from Leo and Stitch said, Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. So the question is, how is Walt Disney's family contributed to Disney since he passed away in 1966? And honestly, the answer to that is, according to BusinessInsider.com, the family has decided to pull themselves away from Disney, the company, but they rather not show their power and wealth. They are very humbled people, and they donate millions of dollars to charity. But Disney World, the company, according to DisneyWorldTheCompany.com, has donated millions of dollars. In 2020, they donated $333 million of cash and kind donations to families and kids for opportunities in communities around the world. Walt Disney has grandkids, great-grandkids, and great-great-grandkids, and they own very little of Disney, but they are still out living normal lives. They're taking care of their families and just not showing off their power and their fame. As a result, today, you should have learned about Walt Disney's background in education, how he created such a big industry, and how his family has contributed to everything Disney. At the end of the day, let's always remember Walt Disney's famous quote, "If you can dream it, you can do it."